Hi students, so this lecture for BCA second sem on statistical method. So in the last lecture on the or last class we saw the related the concepts of the data, and I hope all of you understand this. The data is nothing but what's the informations collected by for the investigation, and there are so many sources are there are two sources, which is the primary source and the secondary source. You know that what my primary data or secondary data. Okay, so as well as we saw the differences between the primary data and the secondary data, so which is the these are the points are theirs for the differences. The meaning is their data, process, sources, cost, collection time, specific, accuracy and reliability. These are the basic points are there for the comparison purpose. As well as in the last lecture we saw there are some methods are there in the, it means primary date in the primary source. It includes the methods which is the direct personal interviews. Okay, so direct investigators directly met to the informants and collect the informations, as well as the indirect investigations. Okay, so investigators indirectly collecting the information from the inform, and next local correspondence as well as the questionnaire methods. Okay, so by the way of the questionnaire they are collecting the informations from the informant. Okay, so these are the what's the methods are there under the primary methods. And next in the collection of the second data, in this there are methods are there against, which is the unpublished source and the published source. Whatever the already published that data are used again for the investigation purpose is nothing but the secondary. Okay, so now in this class we will see the techniques of the data collections. There are three techniques, which is the experimentations method or the census methods, as well as the sampling methods. These are the three methods are theirs, or the techniques are theirs. Okay, or you can say these methods or the source also of the collection of the data. Okay, so first one is what's the experimentations method. Actually these experimentation methods is usually used in the laboratory. Okay, experiment in the laboratory. So in case of experimentations the data are collected by actually conducting the experiment in the laboratory, and this method is usually employed in scientific studies. Okay, so but these experimentation methods in social as well as in economic studies, this method cannot be used. Okay, so this in these experimentation methods in the in for the social and in the economic field, it's the experimentation method is not used. Okay, so this experimentation method it involves the manipulating one variable to determine if change in one variable cause change in another variable. So this experimental method, so there are so many characteristics are there of this experiment. It means what's the we can test one variable at a time, or must be fair and unbiased, or does not allow any outside factors to affect the final outcome. Okay, so and whatever we are experiment, it is a valid test. Okay, so as well as uh, the biggest advantage of this experimentation method, no, so it is unique ability to isolate casual factors since an experiment is highly controlled. Okay, so this method promises more accuracy in the study as well as reliable data can be controlled. Okay, so this more suitable to the problem with the heterogeneous influencing factors. So like this is about the experimentation method, and just keep in mind this method is used in the laboratory because the experiment is required, and this experimentation method it is not used in the it's not used for the social science as well, social studies as well as the economic studies. Okay, so this is about the experimentation. Okay, so now see second B, which is the census method. Okay, so this census method can be used for the data collection, and this census method is complete enumeration to each and every unit of the population. Okay, so it means for census in the census survey, the study of the each and every factors. Okay, each and every of the population of each or every of the units. Okay, we can see it's the census survey, and it is complete enumeration of all units that come under the sphere of investigation, or the whatever the we are doing, whatever we do the census survey, it will give the result are more accurate, as well as is for the census survey, it means for the census method, so it requires a large band of enumerators as well as it's require more time and energy as well as the fund. Okay, so the population census of India, which takes place once in every 10 years, and this is the example of the census survey. Okay, so these census surveys are the types of the surveys involving the process of collecting informations about each member of a given populations, and the use of census survey is usually employed for statistical research as well as the population count or business marketing purposes. Okay, so there are so many advantages are there of this census survey or the census method. So we increase the confidence of the interval, as well as second one is a everyone is invited, and the as well as the maximum chance of identifying of negative feedback as more accurate of the census survey. Okay, so this is about the census survey. And now this census survey is usually a costly affair and it requires more time and labor. Okay, so now see about the sampling methods. This sampling methods it implies the enumerations of few representatives. Okay, few representatives units which is the selected at a random from the population is nothing but what's the sample survey. Okay, so it is enumeration of the few representative units. Okay, and it is the result are approximate, as well as it's require a small band of enumerators, as well as it requires less time as well as energy and fund. Okay, so this process of collecting the information by selecting some true representative to get the information is known as a sample survey, and it is generally beyond simple enumerations and it upon the scope and objectives of the study. Okay, so it's required the less time consuming, as well as it's the feasible and manageable, as well as it's the cost effective, and within the scope of objectives of the study it's doing the sample survey. Okay, so these are the techniques, or these are the methods, or these are the methods are there to collect the data. Okay, so these also very important techniques and the methods as to compare with this earlier whatever we saw in this, whatever the methods are there in the primary data as well as the secondary data. Okay, so just try to understand. Thank you.